This week we had FOMC, and the Feds decided to leave the benchmark interest rate at 3.5% to 3.75. They decided on patience, mainly because of the geopolitical climate in which we are in. We have wars, rising energy costs. Also, let's not forget the softening of the job market. To sum all of that up, which means we had a volatile week once again in the stock market. Welcome back to Finesse Fridays. This is where I'll break down not only the execution, the thought process, the mindset, and the discipline behind all of the trade setups. In particular was all about patience, not necessarily aggression. There were endless opportunities to the downside. However, I wanted to make sure that the next setup was high probability and it would ultimately hit the target in which the chart showed. Going into this new week, our actual swing trade did not trigger, meaning the entry point was never executed. In particular, on Monday, the market did gap higher, meaning most of the closing price on Fridays for certain company stocks, even the broader markets such as the index, opened up higher on Monday than the prior trading day's closing price, which means any entry point given to the downside was not going to follow through immediately on the Monday. Therefore, with patience, we waited to see the other opportunities that existed, and then one particular company popped right back up, mainly due to what occurred the week before. It had an intense 3-day movement to the downside, and it simply pulled back up or retraced only to fall back lower. And that is exactly what we were able to take advantage of. This ticker in particular I'm speaking about is Boeing. Boeing in particular, I did cover Boeing on Finesse Fridays based on the uptrend, our nice entry point where price initially swung right up. Today, I'm going to cover the downside in which we took advantage of and was able to get between 100 to 150% based off of the put options. As we look at Boeing, I want you to notice the break of the trend line, and then initially price started to downtrend. Typically, trend lines for downtrends, I will usually place on top of the candlesticks. This is going to show our downtrend visually. It'll look like that. Also, this area in which I highlighted prior, I'll just stretch across. This area happened to be our target zone. It only makes sense. A lot of these zones, support, resistance, etc., key levels is mainly what we use for an exit strategy. As you can see here, once Boeing uptrended, broke trend line, started its second leg, and initially right back into this main zone. In terms of how did we get in, this initial leg we did not take advantage of. There were plenty of other opportunities based off of our watch list for the other prior Finesse Fridays or our swings in general. This week in particular, after these sharp 3 days down last week, Boeing has been back on my radar. It just happened that I was able to deep dive, analyze it with a group of students, going through the thought process on why price is going to re-enter this zone just made a great high probability opportunity for our members to take advantage of the swing. We took advantage of it by entering on this day, and our exit happened to be yesterday, which is Thursday. As we're looking at this chart, I want you to notice today in particular, Friday, Finesse Friday, price is still inside of the zone, showing strength to the downside as far as the continuation is concerned. On a week like this, I did not want to become overly aggressive when it came to getting in as many swings as possible due to the fact that our initial swing did not execute. For me, it's all about the intent of providing at least one high probability trade setup that I know is going to give excellent results. When you look at it, 100, 150%, on the high end side, certain calls did produce 200%, but those were more so further out of the money. With that said, it just takes one trade in particular to solidify the week in general. And just knowing that we have a repeatable structure, a repeatable process, we look forward to attacking the markets once again next week. As always, we're going to analyze charts. We're going to see exactly what is going to be the best high probability setup that is going to be either that one or two trade that is going to solidify the week. At the end of the day, the goal, we always want high probability setups. The key, one trade per week, will do wonders, especially when we're utilizing options. We already know option market is a leverage market. Boeing for the week gave us that high probability trade setup. If you are still struggling, or even if you are new to understanding and learning all about the stock market, stocks and options, etc., we do still have a great program currently at a 35% discount based off of Women's History Month. And no, we're not discriminating. Men are also welcome to enjoy the discount as well. That link will be inside of the description. We look forward to seeing you and helping you progress as you go through your trading journey. For anyone that's struggling, it's still a wonderful cohort, so you can sharpen up your foundational tools so you too can enjoy a structured process where ultimately we're achieving great gains at the end of the week. The question is for this week, did we finesse the market? Yes, with Boeing, we definitely finessed the market. I look forward to seeing you once again next Friday. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.